friends, I'm back today and I'm going to be talking about something totally different than I normally do, but it makes it no less exciting because it is one of my favorite things. Now, you guys may not know this, but I have a fairly extensive perfume collection. And when I say extensive, I mean, like, honestly, your girl's going to be fresh every day of the week, and usually a few times a day I'm switching things up. So when I was contacted by this brand, I was, number one, very surprised because I've not really talked about fragrances a lot on my channel. Number two, I was very excited about the opportunity to get a chance to try them myself because I actually hadn't yet, but I had been wanting to, and now I get to share them with you guys. So in full transparency, they were sent to me, but my opinions are my own. Now, the brand that we are talking about is Dossier, and the fragrances that we are talking about are all, I'm going to say designer-inspired fragrances, but for a fraction of the cost. And I have got to tell you, spoiler alert, they're pretty legitimate. So let's go ahead and start with the first one, which I think might be my favorite that I've tried thus far, and that is Floral Grapefruit. Now, let me just first talk about this packaging. So if you place an order, when you get the package, it comes in a little box that's kind of got a little piece of cardboard around it that holds the fragrance in place. I had no issues with any of my stuff arriving safely, and it arrived very quickly, which is great. And for $29, you actually get 1.7 fluid ounces, which is very, very good. Because if you were to buy the fragrance that this is inspired by, which is Chanel Chance Entendre, which I'm probably pronouncing like crap, you guys know how I roll, I just cannot pronounce things, that bottle would run you about $89 and up. And this one only runs you $29, which I find to be a heck of a steal because truthfully, it's the exact same. Like, okay, so let's have a little story time. This is all I have left of my Chanel Chance Entendre. And it's because at the time, as you guys know, I have a lot of health stuff. I was going through it. We had a ton of hospital bills. And so I sold the bottle and just kept a little bit of it. I had a big bottle though. I think I had like a 3-ounce version of or whatever. And I just kept a little bit so I could still enjoy it once in a while. But I was like, I'm just trying to make some money so I can pay these bills. And so this was all I had left to hang on to. And I have to say now, after trying this, I definitely wouldn't buy this again, even if finances were totally different and I didn't have any health problems. I have to say I appreciate and prefer that there is no dye within this, where there is in this. I don't know if you can see, it's slightly pink. That's fine, but I would prefer, honestly, in life, because I use a lot of makeup, to not have dyes and stuff. I wish that brands would just forego it unless you are doing something that needs color. That's just how I feel, and I feel that way about food too, but we're not going to get into that today. I think for me, any kind of fragrance that has like a pear undertone to it, I'm going to enjoy. And I have a bunch of pear undertone fragrances, and I don't care. It doesn't matter how many I get, they're all slightly different, and then sometimes you can layer them with different fragrances, and I'm here for that. But I think that this smells identical. Now, they're calling this Floral Grapefruit, and oh, sorry, it smells so good. I'm definitely catching more, okay, to me, when I smell the other and this one, the notes that I'm really smelling are like the pear notes. And then maybe when it wears off, I'm smelling some of the musks, which I'm obsessed with musks. Like, oof, I am here for them every day of the week. Sorry, I'm having a moment here. But to me, there's so many memories involved with this fragrance. And to be able to have it at such an affordable price is like, it's kind of mind-boggling to me. But I've got to say, let's talk about the packaging a little bit. It is actually kind of basic, but I like it all the more for that. I actually don't hate that it's not super intricate or anything like that. And I love the lid because it's magnetic. So for somebody that loses stuff all the time, I love that. I think they did a really nice job. I think that the sprayer is great. Let's talk about longevity. Now, I've used every single one of these. I've layered some of them together, which I did today. And I typically, okay, I'm kind of weird, which you guys knew, but I am the type of person that I like to spray perfumes onto my clothes rather than my skin. And for me, the fragrance is still all over my clothes. Like if I go to the laundry area where I have my little pile set up to do a load, they all still smell. Every single one of them. But I will have to say, even when you put it on your skin, it does last a very long time. Like, even when I thought it was kind of gone, my husband thought I smelled nice, which was, I'm here for that. I like to smell good to him. Now, the next one that I got was Spicy Vanilla. This is actually inspired by Tom Ford Noir. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm just not great at pronunciation. But if you were to get that fragrance, which is actually a men's cologne, I don't care. It would be $122, and this is $39. And let me just first say, I don't have a bottle of it currently because it is a cologne, but I have had like the samples of it because my husband wears a lot of cologne. My husband, since getting with me, has also developed quite the cologne collection. I am obsessed with smells, and this is a very rich scent. Now, I will say something that I really enjoy about the Dossier site is that if you check it out, you will notice that if you scroll down a little bit after the information, it will actually give you pairing suggestions. So something you could pair this with, which I did today. I went ahead and I paired this with another fragrance, which we'll talk about in a second, and I'll tell you my thoughts on their idea of the pairing. But from the time that I smelled that cologne, I think that this is identical to that. Now, the things that I noticed right away is like the top scent of black pepper. Like it is very spicy. It is a very rich scent. It is a very deep scent. The funny thing is I used to be the type of person that I was really only into like fruity or vanilla-esque types of fragrances. Don't get me wrong. I still love that. Sorry, you guys may hear my chair. Watch now. Stop doing it. It's constantly going to be squeaking. We're just going to ignore that. But as I've gotten older, my tastes have kind of changed. Not that I don't love and appreciate my younger scents. I totally do. There's always memories associated with those fragrances. But I would definitely say I've developed an appreciation for scents that I may not have ever liked to begin with. And this is definitely one of those. And especially like if my husband were wearing it, oh my gosh, like I want him to come home so I can spray him with this. I am wearing this today mixed with another, which was one of their pairing suggestions. And it actually totally changed the tone of it. I definitely feel it made it more unisex. And I wanted to see if it would do that. To me, I feel that it did. So if you're the kind of person that loves a spicy, rich fragrance, this is definitely a hit, especially mixed with the next one that I'm going to talk about. All right, so this is Powdery Tobacco, and this is inspired by Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, which I actually had never smelled before. So I did want to get something that was different from what I have and what I've tried. Now, this is a unisex fragrance, and I've got to say, at first I didn't think I liked it, and then it kind of grew on me. And then when I paired it with the spicy vanilla, which is their suggestion on the site, I like it even more. It is so much more complex. As it wears, you get different things throughout the day, which I really like. I think that's interesting when your fragrance kind of tells a story. Maybe I'm weird. I'm a little weird, but maybe I'm really weird. Now, the fragrance that this is inspired by is also a unisex fragrance, and it is typically $250, which is insanity to me. This is only $39, and so to me, you're getting that same experience for a way lower price, which, as they say, cash is king, and the bottom dollar is kind of like my favorite thing, and I love it. I think it's just fantastic. The things that I noticed the most, sorry, it's not, I'm having a moment. This is kind of like the best video ever because instead of like putting stuff on, I'm actually getting a chance to enjoy something. Not that I don't enjoy putting on makeup, but sometimes it's nice to just luxuriate in something, and that's kind of what I'm doing right here. So the things I noticed the most are the tobacco, the vanilla, and I would say the tonka bean. And I love the kind of creaminess to all of that. That sounds like a weird thing to say, but tobacco is one of my favorite fragrances, 100%. I know that's really weird. To me, the smell of tobacco or like cigars or even sometimes smoke is some of my favorite smells. I think I'm a little weird for that, but this is done in like the best type of way. It's not like you're getting like a cigarette type of smell or anything like that. You're getting some of the earthiness from the actual plant of tobacco, and I like that a lot. Then when you pair that with vanilla, oh, to me, vanilla is like my universal fragrance. I'm one of those people that I 100% love. Okay, when back in the day when I was a kid, I loved, and I'm sure many of you guys loved as well, warm vanilla sugar. Still do. Your girl is diehard for warm vanilla sugar. And so to me, I think as I've gotten older, I've appreciated more complex versions of that. And this kind of gives me those vanilla vibes, but definitely more mature. And as far as their pairing suggestion, I'm really impressed with it. I kind of like the way things have layered together as they are wearing. At first, when I initially sprayed it on, I wasn't crazy about it. I was like, ooh, this is maybe too intense. And then after a few minutes, it calmed down. And I like that first initial hit. And then now the more that it is worn down, I like it even better. So I'll be curious to see what it's going to smell like, tonight when I go to bed. I wish you guys could smell me. Now, the last one that I got is Woody Tobacco. And this is inspired by Mason, and I'm going to screw up the last name. Please don't judge me. Margiela? It's not even close. I'm sorry. Jazz Club, which the bottle of that is $135. Now, I did get a little sampler kit a long time ago with it in this size. Now, this is a unisex fragrance as well, and I have to say that yet again, Dossier nailed it. Like, I just feel like they did a great job. So here's what I would say. Sniffing it out of the bottle and spraying it on, I think there's a difference on how it comes out. I don't know if it's just the concentrated form versus the aerated form or whatever, but I have to say they smell the exact same. And yet again, here's another price difference where this was $39 and this one's $135. Now, obviously you can get smaller sizes, but you'll get smaller sizes, which is fine. But if you're like me and you are looking for fragrances on a budget and you want to have those experiences, but you don't necessarily want to spend that kind of money, this is a really great way to even figure out if you're going to be happy with that fragrance before you go spending that kind of money on a bottle. I just feel like they've done a really great job of capturing this. Now, the things that I noticed like right off the bat when I smell it, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I love it. So when I'm smelling this, I'll tell you the things that I'm catching whiffs of. Like initial first fragrances, I feel like I'm kind of catching the woods and the tobacco leaves, the vanilla, very much so the lemon, and I would even say the pink pepper. Some of the other notes in this I don't catch immediately, but I kind of catch them on the back end. But here again is another spicy fragrance. I've kind of started to go that direction, but in the future, I'd like to pick up others of their fragrances and other fragrance families because I'm really interested to try those. Like there was one, it was like green tea citrus. I think that's what it was called. And that sounded incredible to me. Like I love tea and I'm really interested to see what that's about. It just seemed like they had a really good array of fragrances. And I kind of feel that the descriptions they put as the title are really helpful when choosing. I think it's pretty spot on, actually. So with all of that being said, I have to say, I feel that this was a really good experience. Sorry, my chair is like, wah, 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 wah. I liked everything more than I thought I was going to. And my husband liked everything too, because a lot of these are unisex. And I feel like fragrance is a very fluid thing. There was a fragrance that I had once purchased, and I still have it actually, from MAC, and I loved it. It was called Turquotic. Anybody else a Turquotic fan out there? And I swear, it did not matter who put that on. It smelled incredible on them. There was somebody that worked there named Adrian, and I love him. In case he ever watches this, which I very much doubt, I love you, Adrian. You are still my favorite ever. And he got me out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways, and I'm very glad for that because I don't think I would have ever treaded into unisex fragrances if not for him. So in any case, it kind of led me to where I'm at now, where I'm really open to even male fragrances, I don't really care. Any fragrance is for any person in my opinion, and I love that they have so much variety. With all that being said, I'm going to have their website linked down below. I don't currently have a coupon code with them. I'm not affiliated with them, anything like that. But if you do want to shop them and check them out, I will have them linked down below. I definitely think they are well worth the look. I have noticed that they have sales once in a while or sometimes coupon codes. Definitely worth looking into those, because anytime you can save some money, it is a wonderful thing. And if you made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate you. I would love to have you here as a subscriber or over on my TikTok or Instagram. The name is the same over there. It's at Jaclyntriesit. And I hope that everybody's staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.